The Financials Workcenter is an additional tool used to navigate and work in PeopleSoft Financials. This brief video will orient you with essential information relating to this new tool. Upon completion of the video, you will be able to successfully navigate to and begin working in the Financials Workcenter. Let's take a look at the Financials Workcenter. To go to the Workcenter, go to the Salt Lake County Financials homepage and click the Financials Workcenter tile. The Workcenter layout is not unfamiliar to most users. There is a static navigation pane in the left and smaller portion of the page, and to the right and larger portion exists the work area. When items containing the navigation pane are selected, the work area opens up the page to take action on those selections. By default, the pagelets, or these small pages that provide snapshots of data, appear in the work area when the Workcenter is first opened. These items, along with all of the items in the navigation pane, can be personalized from user to user. It's important to understand that any user personalization does not impact the overall Workcenter, and changes that I make on my Workcenter are not reflected on another user's Workcenter. This is entirely a personalization and hence the power of the Workcenter. To personalize the work area, click the content link here. Make any deselections or selections of available pagelets. Click the Personalized Layout link to then rearrange any of the additional or existing pagelets and click Save. To further personalize the data in these pagelets, you can use the Settings wheel to update the prompts, and additionally use the Settings wheel here where there is a personalization option available. Let's review the navigation pane and the various personalization options. First, the navigation pane itself. It consists of 3 tabs. Each tab contains various aspects of working items, navigation, and help. On the Workplace tab, users are provided specific items based on their security roles in PeopleSoft. Let's explore the Workspace tab. It's comprised of 3 sections: Links, My Work, and Queries. The Links section is provided with 2 defaulted groups, Web Links and PeopleSoft Links. Web Links have been added for the convenience of navigating to intranet sites within the county that are relevant to work. And the PeopleSoft Links group contains landing pages in PeopleSoft to perform work. All of these are customizable to the end user. The My Work section. It's broken up into 3 sections, generally speaking: Approvals, Issues, and Work. It is important to note that these are delivered based on user security. So if a user does not perform approvals on their day-to-day responsibilities, they will not see the approvals group. Let's review the content of these groups. The approval group, of course, contains any approval required in financials. The issues group contains common issues or presents errors in transactions. And the last group in this section is the work group, which identifies work started but not yet completed. The Queries section. The Queries section contains multiple groups as well, and each section is granted based on the PeopleSoft security a user has. The following groups have been created: Pivot Grids, General Ledger Queries, Billing Queries, Cash Receipting Queries, Purchasing Queries, Project Costing Queries, and Contract Billing Queries. Let's talk about personalization. The first action any user should do when personalizing their Workcenter is to click the Edit Filters button in the My Work section. Making changes to the filters allows a user to define what transactions come to each of these groups, the approvals, issues, and work group. By default, though, the approvals group will only bring to you your relevant approvals, and you may not need to do any additional filtering here. However, the issues and work section is determined based on the filter criteria you enter. I currently have one item in this issue link, but I want to update the filter for that to only see the items relating to my business unit. Click the Edit Filter button. Notice that there are 3 groups, each corresponding to the groups within this section. Navigate to the Issues group. I then can identify the invoices not integrated to AR and update that filter to more relevant information. I'm not concerned with all of the issues out there for every business unit. However, I do want to see it for AGE01. To make a change, I can select and make the change here. I'd recommend using the magnifying glass. I will unselect every single business unit that I do not want to appear in my list of items. Click OK. I refresh the Workcenter by clicking Financials Workcenter. As you can see, I've updated my filter for this item, and I no longer have pending items because I've narrowed down my business unit to a single one. But note that these also had pending items, but now are changed. Why did that happen? We go back to the group filtering and notice that the filter ID I used for this item is BI source, which is also the same filter item for the rest of these. This is for your convenience and so as to only update one filter, and it trickles through to update all the other relevant filters. Let's look at adding an additional link in the link section. I've added a custom link here that only I see. To do so, I went to the Settings wheel and Personalize. I added a new group by clicking the plus sign. I named the group. I clicked the Define Link button, and I selected the type of link. The menu item is equivalent to a PeopleSoft page. Select menu item to identify that PeopleSoft page. Use the main menu structure to narrow down to the page you want to land on. You may override the name of the label for convenience. I can add an additional link of a URL. Click the link type of URL. Enter the link here. It has been reported that sometimes you need to use an https:// in front of the www. Name the link. Click Save. It's automatically refreshed and my new group has appeared. If you find that there are items, let's move on to the work section. If you find there are items in the work section that appear to be unrelated or irrelevant for the work you do, you may hide that specific link. Go to the Settings wheel and Personalize. In the Show Link column, you can mark or unmark to hide that link. This invoice's pending my approval was originally hidden. As you see, it's not there, but I clicked now so it will show. I click Save. It refreshes and it now appears. The query section. You may at your discretion add additional public or private queries in this section. Click the settings wheel and personalize. You will need to add a new group and label the group. Decide whether the query or pivot grid is public or privately owned, and select the type. I've now successfully added a private query to my section of queries. Let's move on to the Homepage tab. This tab consists of a complete collection of home pages and tile navigation, whether or not you have access to those home pages. This is an entire selection of home pages available, and you may not be able to get to the pages when selecting pages on a certain home page. Tiles that take a user to a specific page in PeopleSoft will open up the page in the work area. Tiles that take a user to a navigation collection will open in a new tab or take you out of the Workcenter. You may close the tab or click the Home button to go back to the Workcenter. The Training and Help tab. It contains a collection of all PeopleSoft Financial videos, recent and archived, and other useful information. The forthcoming user troubleshooting guide will also appear here. Additionally, the tab contains the Request Assistance link that, when selected, opens and it composes a message for you to send to PeopleSoft administrators for help. Although extensive time and preparation was involved in creating the Financials Workcenter, it does not contain everything needed to complete work in PeopleSoft. It will, however, present pending items for users to take action on and convenient links to streamline working. Users can still expect to rely on their existing home pages, favorites, and still use the navigator from time to time to access pages in PeopleSoft. This concludes the introduction of the Financials Workcenter and PeopleSoft Financials. For questions, please contact Mayor's Finance at accounting@slco.org.